Good morning and welcome to Headset Week. I'm going to be talking about headsets. I'm wearing one right now. I'm going to be talking about other headsets throughout the course of the week on my Monday, Wednesday, Friday show. So if you happen to have any questions on different types of headsets, which ones you use for remote work, whether you should have one or not, please feel free to stop by the show and ask me any questions. And I have a few headsets. I don't have all the headsets that are available, but I do have a number of or a few of them around. So if you're interested, let me know. And possibly if you're interested in some brands that I don't have, maybe I can reach out to some of those brands and, see if we can do some type of a brand collaboration there. Or if you're a part of a brand and you've got some headsets, you should get in touch with me and we can see if we can get your products on the show. I need to bring in the folks from Amazon right now. So let's hold on just a second. Let me bring those folks into the show. Good morning and welcome to all the folks from Amazon. It is headphone headset week here on the show. Uh Joanna said you forgot YouTube, didn't you? Am I out on YouTube? Joanna, you are leaving comments out on YouTube. So I'm guessing that's working. Anyhow, welcome to the show. I'm wearing a headset today. I'm starting out the show wearing the JLab Nightfall gaming headset. This is kind of a new one, but it sits today. The price is $39.99. So it's a pretty cost effective headset for you. And one of the reasons I wanted to use this on the show is I think, especially in the price range that it sits at, the microphone quality on this one really is pretty nice. So a lot of your headsets don't, especially at that price range, don't have that uh, good of a microphone on it. But I thought this one had a pretty good microphone, and I will demo some other headsets throughout the course of the show so that you can hear and see the difference between those. But that gets me to my question of the day that I am going to bring out across here. Hold on. Let me get that scrolling across the bottom. Do you use a headset for working? So that is my question, and I might tip that out to the Amazon questions as well. You know what? I can even post it out to YouTube for a question, post it over to Amazon for a question. But yeah, this is the JLab Nightfall gaming headset, probably mostly intended for gaming, but I think it works all right as a remote work headphone headset as well. I do think the sound quality on it, like the speakers in it, are pretty good. I can't necessarily demo those for you on the other end of the screen here, but those are good. You get to hear the microphone and the quality of that. So there you have it. That's what we're going to talk about this week. We will be talking about some other things as well. I think I have some pretty good deals on paper shredders in the carousel today and a printer that's on sale and maybe even a couple of men's electric shavers might be on in there as well. Hold on, I realized I forgot to add one more item to the show today, so I'm gonna go do that. The cord hider that I hung up this weekend. I don't know exactly where. There it is. Now I put it out into the show. So if you happen to be on one of the platforms that's not Amazon, if you are over on LinkedIn or YouTube, and you're like, what are these products Ryan's talking about? On Amazon, you can see a list of the products right underneath the screen, and you can click on those and you could go in to purchase them. You don't get to see that on YouTube and LinkedIn and other channels. I'm working on a web page that's going to list the things that are on sale every day so that I can just forward people to that that website so that you can see a link and a listing of all the things that I discussed on my morning shows and whether or not they were on sale and things like that. So I'm working to build one of those. Joanna says, yes, when I worked, she used a headset. I never really used a headset when I worked, and I don't always use a headset now. That's maybe not true. I have one on my desk that I probably use a number of times a week. So I guess I do use one more than I thought. Now, now that I have a few of them, whew, I've been talking a lot. Joanna, welcome to the show. How was your weekend? And for anybody else that's out there tuned in, feel free to jump in the chat and tell me how your weekend was as well, or let me know on your thoughts on using a headset for work. But welcome to the show. I'm Ryan. I have restarted this live show, and now I'm doing it Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings during the week. And I talk a lot about different remote work products, and I follow a lot of the products on Amazon and when they have sales and what the prices of those things are. And I've decided to try this for at least a couple of weeks. I'm going to pick certain categories of products and I'm going to highlight and use a number of those different types of products during the week. And so this week it is headsets. So I have this one. I have the Astro A50, which is a pretty high budget headset. I have the Logitech H390 that I'm going to use, I think, on the Wednesday show. I'll probably swap them all out today on the show, but that one, but at least I'm going to start out the show with a different headset each day this week. I even have some other headsets in my office that I might pull out and use some of the other ones. I just know I have them around here. I will probably have to go find some of those. Yes. And next week I'm still undecided on what next week's product or products are going to be. I do want to do a microphone week, a week where I test out a number of different microphones. Uh, and I don't even have one right next to my Blue Yeti sitting on the shelf right over here. But I got a couple of other different microphones that I would like to test out. I do have the new version of the Yeti. I got a new one from Fafine that I want to try. And so microphones is on the list, keyboards is on the list. I hope to test a number of keyboards as well sometime in the near future. And so those are on there. And then paper shredders will probably make the list sometime as well. But I'm just trying to come up with some of these different categories so that I can look at some of the products and demo some of those so that people can get an idea of here's a budget set, here's one in the middle, and here's what you get when you spend a lot of money on them. Also, for those that don't know, never tuned into the show before or have and just didn't hear this part of the show, one of the other things I do know an awful lot about is men's electric shavers. And they make it into the show just about every morning. I put a couple of those into the show because the top shelf back here, up on the top, those are all men's electric razors. I've got just about all the big name brand ones that you could care about. I even got a couple of new shaver type of products over the weekend. So, yes. Joanna says, sorry, closed cap for a few minutes on hold. All right. Whew. Okay. So I haven't even listened to myself. I don't even know. I think I just unmuted myself on the other screen. And the microphone, I think it's really good for a headset that is under $40. It's from JLab, and I did want to say thanks to JLab because they did send this to me a couple of weeks ago to try out because I'm part of the Amazon influencer program, and uh, sometimes businesses will send over some of their products to test out. They didn't pay me anything to say this. They haven't told me what I have to say, or everything is my own opinion. And I'm trying not to even give my own opinion. I guess I did say the microphone is good, but you could hear the microphone. So I try to kind of leave some of my opinions away and I try to demonstrate the products rather than just tell you my opinions. All right. So this is the JLab. What's the name of it? JLab Nightfall gaming wired headset. It is a wired one. It wires in with a 3.5 millimeter. That's the typical tiny little round headphone plug-in that if you grew up uh, in the 80s and 90s, the headphone jack that you use to plug into your Walkman or your Discman or, those portable things. Phones used to have the headphone jack in there. My phone, I have the Pixel 6, which is a couple generations behind. I think there's a Pixel 8 out now. It does not have a headphone jack on it anymore. So those headphone jacks are kind of going away. But this one right here, it works well with the Xbox. My children have been using it a little bit with the Xbox. If you have an older phone with a 3.5 millimeter jack, it works there as well. Mine, I had to get an extra uh, little adapter extension cord because I think if I were to guess, the cord on it is probably 4 or 5 feet long, and my computer hangs on the wall, and so when I stand out here, I'm a little bit farther away. So I had to get a little bit of an extension to get that to make it all the way out to here. Oh, but that's the headset. It works really great for a console. This would be a good choice for uh, children in your house that really want to do gaming. I think it works as a remote work headset as well. It's not too flashy. It doesn't have flashing lights or anything on that. So you could use it in the remote work setting as well. My 8-year-old daughter, it seems to fit her head pretty well. So if you're looking for sizes of heads and things that could fit. So that's the JLab gaming headset right there. I'm going to jump ahead and see if I can swap out and use one of the other headsets I have. And so this will be interesting because you'll get to see and you'll get to hear the difference in these headsets. But just hold on. I got to take this headset off because I'm going to go grab my Logitech H390 from the shelf back here. Oh yeah, another cool feature of the Nightfall from JLab is when you fold up the microphone, it automatically mutes, and so I'll move it up, and then it was muted when it was up, so you couldn't hear what I was saying. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. Not all headsets have that, but the JLab does. All right, now I'm gonna try to swap out. We're gonna try to do this sort of in real time here on the show. I'm gonna try to plug in some different headphones, and we're gonna see how they sound and how they work. So give me a second here. I'm gonna plug in the H390s. Hopefully things just roll along smoothly, but in case they don't, hang on. I'll be back. I'll get the live stream back up if it doesn't work. So here we go. So I still am using the the J Labs. Now I'm going to see if I can switch myself over to the Logitech H390 headset. So I'm going to mute these and I'm going to switch myself over. So now you can tell I'm on the Logitech H390, and these are the least expensive of the headsets that I have in the carousel today. These ones today are on sale at Amazon for $21.99. This is a great headset that I recommend if you are on a budget, you're a remote worker, and you just need a headset that kind of works. The microphone here is better than it's much better than the microphone built into your laptop. You do got the headphones, so the sound of your coworkers when they're talking to you, you can hear them. Everyone else in your house doesn't need to hear that sound. This is what I said. These make a great gift for somebody at your house that just needs a headset. You don't want to spend a ton of money. You don't need something flashy. You don't need something stylish. You just need a headset so that you can hear your coworkers better and so that they can hear you through the mic a little bit better. So that's the Logitech H390, and I think definitely you can hear the difference between this one, and I will switch back and forth for you again. I can maybe even just hold this microphone up. So right now we're on the Logitech H390. I'm going to switch us back to the JLab. So now we're on the JLab again, and you should be able to hear me that way. So you can start to hear the comparison between the two. This one right now, I'm using the JLab is the microphone that I'm using right there. Now I'm going to switch myself back to Logitech headset. So now I'm on the Logitech headset. Hopefully you could hear the difference in those because almost all of your microphones and your headsets and your microphones, they're all going to have different sounds and a little bit of different, I guess, quality. They'll make you sound just slightly a little bit different. So that's why it's kind of fun to play around with the different microphones and see which one you like and don't like better. The next thing I was going to do, I was going to swap over to just I stepped off. Yes, you can still hear me, but I just wanted to make sure that everything was working because I got one more headset that I wanted to demo in here today. So now I'm using the Logitech H390. And so a little bit on the prices, the JLab Nightfalls back here, $39.99 is the price on those today at Amazon. The Logitech H390, $21.99 is the price on these. And then the Astro A50s, and I will say this, I'm going to switch over to them in just a second, and then I will talk about those. So hold on. They're the most expensive of the bunch. They sit at $241 today. So they're quite a bit higher than the other ones, but hopefully you'll be able to notice some of the difference in the audio quality of the microphone. But I'm going to swap over to those now. I think if I can get there. Yes. So now you should be able to hear me out of the Astro A50, and you should be noticing that the audio quality of the microphone is definitely different between the three different microphones. The Astro A50, it does have this headset that you can use, and it's flexible. It does also flex in and out. Plus, you can curve it, bend it back and forth. I wanted it probably to set out about right there. I think that maybe sounds the best, Joanna. Uh, Joanna said, sounds clear from what I could tell. Yeah, they actually they all sound. I think they all sound pretty good. Yes, yeah, I do. I think they all sound pretty good. They do have different sounds to them. So the Astro A50s that I'm wearing, obviously these ones are quite a bit more expensive, but they're they're built with they have a lot better speakers and sound inside them. These ones are probably largely targeted at gamers, but you don't have to be a gamer to use them. They are pretty comfortable on them. They do have a padded cushion across the top, so it's comfortable on the top of your head. But I did want to say the Astro A50s recently, Astro, which is now a part of Logitech, they just came out with their new version, the Astro A50Xs, and I have not gotten a new set of the A50Xs yet, but if I do or when I do, they will definitely make their way onto the show sometime, and I will give those a little demo on the show so you can use and try those. But I think the Astro A50s are very comfortable. I think the microphone is good. I do believe when I fold up the microphone, I think this one automatically mutes as well. So let me fold it up and did. Yes, it did mute when you automatically folded that up. The H390s don't have that feature. The microphone doesn't automatically mute. Whew. Joanna said the reason I needed a headset was for my job. It was phone related. Once we needed driver support for delivery services. What's that? You need driver support? Oh, you did driver support for delivery services. That kind of makes sense. All right, yeah. So there's a lot of people that just do phone stuff, and I will tell you, it drives me crazy when I call in to a 1-800 number, or you call in for phone support, and I get someone on the other end of the line that it's obvious that they don't have a very good microphone. I can't understand what they're saying. I hear all the 25 other people in their phone call room. I hear all those other conversations going on. It kind of drives me crazy. I just think, why don't they spend a little bit more? Why doesn't the company spend a little bit more money to get uh, better headsets for these people? And so here's just a little sample on the A50s. I was just going to snap my fingers. You can hear the snapping. And as I get farther away, it should get a little bit quieter, and you should hear that less because this microphone tries to pick up audio right from around your mouth and not as much of the background noise that's around here. Joanna said she was at Uber and needed a translator. Oh, yeah, yeah, I can see that. And Dano is here over on Amazon. Dano's name is Dano is here. Dano is here is here. Welcome to the show, Dano. I told you when you stopped by during, I think it was Super Bowl Sunday, that maybe I would be back. So last week I was back Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This week I was back. Uh, I'm back on Monday. I'm planning to be here Wednesday and Friday as well. It's headphone week, so I'm trying out and testing out a couple of different headsets. Right now I got the Astro A50s on. Previously I had the JLab Nightfalls on my head and the Logitech H390. So I was trying those out, giving the viewers out here a little bit of a demo of how those sound different. And here, I'll even swap it over for you, Dano, so that you can hear the difference. Right now, I'm on the Astro A50s. I'm going to quick switch myself over to the Logitech H390s. Now I'm on the Logitech H390, and you can definitely hear the difference in some of the in the audio quality and the audio difference on these. So this is the Logitech H390. So price difference, these ones are $21.99, I think, is the price of those right now. Yes, $21.99 is the price of the Logitech H390s. And now let me switch over to the JLab Nightfall gaming headset here, and then you can hear that one. So now we're on to the JLab Nightfall gaming headset. So you can hear the difference in the quality. These ones, the JLabs right here, sit about $39.99 is the price on those today. So there is a difference in the different headsets there. Honestly, comfort wise, I do think the Astros are pretty comfortable. They are a little bit heavier than these ones. I think the Logitechs are the least comfortable. These ones are pretty comfortable. The cushions, the cushioning around your ears is pretty deep and quite soft and flexible. So the JLabs are nice here. Uh, Joanna said, I was home anyway. They also wanted them to be plugged in, but I prefer to be free. Yeah, so I can, yeah. The A50s that I was demonstrating, those are the only one of my three that I'm demoing today that are wireless. And so that can be a thing. These ones, the JLabs have about a 4.5, 5 foot cord. Uh, so here, hold on a second. Joanna said she always used Logitechs. And yeah, so here I am using the Logitech H390. And she said, I started with the 390s, then I switched to bone conduction with Aftershock for uh, Aftershock OpenCom. Mute next time. Yeah. Cords. I would get up to walk away and just keep going. Yeah. So, Joanna, which one of these do you think the Logitech has a better microphone than the JLab? I don't know which one. Which one do you prefer the sound of? And Dano says, "Cool. I was on spring break vacation last week, so I missed your streams." Well, thank you. Uh, Thanks for that. Thanks for stopping by. Where did you go on your spring break vacation? If you don't mind telling us. Uh, So Joanna, I think, appears to like the Logitech a little bit better. She thinks it sounds just a little bit more natural. And they all sound a little bit different, and some people are, preferable to others. Dano over on Amazon said the JLab sounds better to him. And he also went to San Diego last week. I bet that was nice. But Dano's my state neighbor. I live in South Dakota. Dano lives in Minnesota. It was even a pretty nice week here last week. It is supposed to be 72 degrees outside today in South Dakota, and that's phenomenal for this early in March. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to switch myself back. I'm going to go get on the Astro because those are wireless, and then I can roam around the office. So I'm going to do that. So hang with me as I switch out my headset one more time. Isn't this kind of fun? We're switching back and forth between all the headsets. There we go. Now we're back to the Astro A50. You guys should tell me, did the Astro A50s right here, the one that I'm wearing. I mean, this headset is 10 times the price of the Logitech. This one's $240. The Logitech was 21. Does does the microphone on the A50 sound significantly better than the microphone on either of the other two headsets? So let me know your thoughts on that because I have some thoughts on microphones. This is what I say. Any microphone, any external microphone you're going to get typically is a huge jump from the no microphone that's just, or the very simple microphone that's built into your laptop. So the laptop microphone is bad. So any external microphone is a huge jump. Then the more money you spend, I don't feel like the jump goes as high anymore. So for $50, you can get a pretty good microphone. For $200, I don't think you get 4 times as good of a microphone. Uh, Joanna says sounds better, but not that much money better. And that's kind of what I think. But I think one of the reasons you're going to buy the Astro A50 isn't necessarily for the microphone. The rest of what's in the A50, the sound quality, like if you want to listen, if you want better audio quality for listening to music and things like that, the A50s are significantly better there. Uh, Dano said, "Yeah, there's not much difference in the weather there compared to here. It was mid 60s in San Diego. Yeah, but San Diego still has the beach. You don't get that in Minnesota or South Dakota." Dano says, "I actually use the Bose Q50, Q30, or the Bose Q35s for headphones. A lot more expensive and also wireless. Yeah, there's a lot of options out there. I've never had the Bose. I've also never had the fancy Sony's that I do hear good things about as well. So I haven't tried either of those, and maybe some people will have some options and suggestions for me for what I should do or what I should try." Yes. Hold on. Dana also said, "I think they sound better than the Logitech, but it's close to the JLab, but it isn't worth the additional cost." Yeah, I think the Astros, well, the Astros you get wireless. So that gives you that. I can walk all over my office with the Astros. But the difference in the price I don't think is really in the microphone in those headsets. I think the Astro A50s just have better sound and audio quality inside of them. But I am excited to try out the Astro A50Xs coming out. They came out a couple weeks ago. I just haven't gotten myself a set of those yet. But I like the A50s that I can walk around. And I have this strange problem on my computer that I use to run my live show. The Bluetooth stopped working a couple weeks ago. So I can't use my Bluetooth wireless headsets with these. So the Astro A50s are not Bluetooth. They have a docking station, looks like that the microphones charge in, and that docking station provides the wireless connection here. So that's why there's not a lag when I'm using the wireless here. Yeah. Okay. So that is, whoa, see, that was loud right there. If you caught on to that, that was really loud. The next thing I wanted to jump into, since I do talk about other remote work things, there was a couple of paper shredders on sale today, and I wanted to highlight some of those. There's two in particular that I was going to highlight. I have one of them. The other one is just a slight upgrade from that. So this right here is the Bonson. Ooh, I ran my microphone into the paper shredder. Sorry about that. So this is the Bonson paper shredder. This one is the 8 sheet, and the 8 sheet is on sale today for $42.49. This is what I say: if you're getting a paper shredder, go with an 8 sheet. 8 sheet or above, depending on how much you shred. I use an 8 sheet at my house. This is what I have. This is what I use, the Bonson 8 sheet. I think it's got plenty of power in here. You can fit 8 sheets of paper in there. It's got forward, reverse, auto mode, which means you just kind of let it sit, and when you put in a piece of paper, it pulls it through and shreds it. So that is the Bonson 8 sheet. 8 sheets on sale for $42.49. That's typically about the best price that you get on that. The 10 sheet, maybe you're in an office setting and you need just a little bit more shredding power. More often, people are shredding. The 10 sheet is available for $50.99. Now, I wanted to look at the 10 sheet because one of the things on paper shredders is they have an amount of time that you can shred paper through them before they start to before they overheat themselves. And I wanted to compare these two because I wanted to make sure I get this right. So hold on. So a little bit of difference here. The 10 sheet that I have highlighted, the 10 sheet paper shredder has 4 minutes of continuous non-stop shredding power before it will start to overheat. Surprisingly, the 8 sheet paper shredder that I have says it will go for 5 minutes without overheating. But that's paper shredders. If you don't have a paper shredder in your office or your home, I highly recommend it just with the amount of mail and documents that we have and things we print out and credit card statements, bank statements, all that stuff. If you don't have an 8 sheet paper shredder or something similar, I think a paper shredder is a great addition to any home. Dano over on Amazon Live says he's got that 8 sheet paper shredder as well. Yeah, it's a good paper shredder. I do remember when you bought that off the show, Dano. Do you use it, Dano? I use mine. I actually have a stack of papers back here that probably need to be shredded as well. Oh, yes, and I forgot to mention both of those sales on the paper shredders, they are lightning deals, which means there's only a certain quantity that they sell at those prices. And the 10 sheet is 85% claim. So if you're interested in picking up one of those paper shredders, now might be a good time. You might have to act pretty quick. The 8 sheet paper shredder for $42.49. That one is 88% claimed. So if you want to get those, if you're over on Amazon, you can just click purchase those. If you're on one of the other social networks or video services, you might have to just go to Amazon and search for the Bonson 8 sheet crosscut shredder because I don't have my website right now that lists all those sale prices. Working on that. Maybe by next week. Maybe by next week I'll have that. All right. Whoa. Uh, Dano says, yes, I do. And I also have a stack that needs to be shredded. Yeah, sometimes I'm not as good about shredding things right away and I let a stack of papers build up. Like you maybe can't really see it on the show, but right there I have a stack. There's probably 10 sheets of paper there that need to be shredded. So maybe I'll try to work through that sometime later today. Maybe I will even take out my camera and make a video shredding paper. All right. I was going to jump to Anchor because they had a nice little. Whew, that was loud. Sorry about that sound. There was an Anchor power cord that I wanted to highlight, but now I got to find it first. Which one was it? Do you ever have this problem? You got so many things on your shelf, you can't always find what you're looking for. I run into that problem. Joanna said I try to burn. You burn your papers? I have done that before, but I feel like I end up with too large of a stack of papers to burn, and then that becomes challenging. All right, I got to look down in here, figure out what I was looking for. Maybe I don't have this here anymore. It's possible. I got a battery right here. That was kind of weird. But I thought I had this the other day. So here's my I'm gonna show you guys what I'm looking at. This is my Anchor headset or my Anchor webcam. I got a couple of those. Anchor GAN Prime power cord, but that's not what I'm looking for either. Joanna said, yeah, she burns a lot. She tries to shred first. Well, I can see that. Well, so now I'm a little worried I'm not going to be able to find the the power strip I was looking for. I kind of liked it because it was a fun color, but I so I'm sorry about this one. It's not on my shelf. I maybe gave this one to my daughter to take to her college dorm room. So I don't know. I guess I don't have it. Anyhow, it's a cool USB charging power strip, and it comes from Anchor. I'm a big fan when it comes to power strips and charging bricks and things like that. My two favorites are Belkin and Anchor. So I'm a big fan of both of those, and I would highly recommend either of their products. There are some other companies out there that I have been okay with. I like my. I have another brand, Echo Gear. Echo Gear. I've been happy with their power strips as well. I have a number of those. But yeah, there's a lot out there. But I've also in my life had a number of uh, power strips that I maybe wouldn't recommend, so I don't usually talk about those on the show. And that's actually maybe another category I could do some week for the show is I could just do power strips and power cords and power cables and talking about a lot of those things. So I'm going to actually write that down on my list of potential topics. Power strips. Because there's so many options out there. There just is. All right. I just keep talking here. This is what happens. I was excited to put this one back in the show because if you tuned into the show, if you're a long time viewer, I used to do a lot of vacuuming on my live morning show. And this was my favorite vacuum, the Eureka NEC 222. For whatever reason, it was discontinued on Amazon for a while and it wasn't available. And then most of last year, I did not do my live show, but it's back on there. I love it. It's a stick vacuum. This long, it does have lights on it. Yeah, you got to hear what it sounds like. It's easy to detach this if you just want to use the handheld portion to vacuum. It also, this is hard to see, it's got a little foot pedal right here. If you step on that with your foot, you can easily detach that, which that makes it super simple to clean the baseboards. You don't even have to bend down to detach it, just use your foot. And it also makes it really nice if you want to do things like clean up cobwebs in the corner of your room. So I'm a huge fan of these stick vacuums, but this one is one of my favorites. I have a slightly different version. I have a Shark that I use upstairs on the hardwood floor. This one does that as well, but I have one downstairs and one vacuum upstairs. Hang that back up. Johanna said, I have more Belkin power charger or power cords, but they were around first. Yes, they were, and Belkin does a good job with those. So I don't have anything bad to say about Belkins. They are good, and so are Anchors. But I think there are plenty of brands out there that I maybe wouldn't qualify as quite so good. All right, cord hider. I made a video on YouTube and on Amazon about these, but if you need to hang some cords on the wall, if you'll notice behind here, I have cord hider. This is a different brand back here. EVZA is rather new. They got in touch with me a couple weeks ago and they said, hey, Ryan, you want to try out our cord hider? You want to make a video for us? I said, sure, let's get in touch. Let's see how we can make that happen. So I made a video and put that up this weekend. Here is what I like about these. I just made a mess, but you guys didn't see it. This is what the cord hider looks like. The nice feature I like about this is the adhesive tape is already on the back. And all you have to do is you just peel off that little cover on it, just like that. You peel that all the way back and then stick it to your wall. They do have covers for them. Out of all the cord hiders that I could pull out, I pulled out the one that had the twisty ties in the middle, so they went all over my office. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, we're going to lay that back down. I wanted to show you a couple different ways that you can put on the case on the cover on here. You can go down to the bottom and then you can slide it all the way up just like that. That works pretty easily. Then you slide all the way down. You can snap it on top. So I'll show you. You can feed over one side and then it just snaps into place like that. The sides on here are somewhat flexible. So if you need to get it off just by peeling off the sides, you can. Not all cord hiders are that easy to get on and off. So I thought these were pretty nice. You can paint them, you can cut them. You can cut them with a saw. Just get yourself a sharp hacksaw and cut through it, and you shouldn't have too much trouble with that. But that is cord hider, so then you don't have to have the unsightly cords hanging down your wall all over the place. All right. I'm going to try to box that up again. The EVZA cord hider. There you go. Sorry if you're catching a little bit of wind in there. All right, I got a couple other products here, and then I think the show will be a wrap for the day. The printers, I use the 7255E printer, but the upgraded version is the one that's on sale today, the 7955E. I have had that printer in the past. The only difference between that one and this one, the 7955E has a paper feed on top of it, so you can put a piece of paper in there and it will pull it through and print out or copy those papers that are in there. So the 7955E is on sale today for $179.99. Anyhow, those are the different printers. I'm a big fan of that printer. So that's the one that I use, and I'd be okay with the 7955E because it's the same printer. It just has a paper feed on the top of it. But it stays on. I don't have troubles printing. I don't have to reboot it all the time. It doesn't get disconnected from the Wi-Fi. It just seems to work. So that's why I use it. All right. And because I like to talk about men's electric shavers, two more of those, and then I'll be done with the show. Dano says, "Gotta run, Ryan. I'll try to catch you on Wednesday." Well, thanks, Dano. Have a good Monday. I'm wearing my Shaver Dude shirt in here because I did start a separate Shaver Dude YouTube channel specifically for all the men's electric shaver videos that I have made and I'm starting to make and continuing to make. And I wanted to highlight two shavers that are on sale. The Philips and Norelco 3900. I have the 3800. So I do not have the 3900, but it's on sale. I would recommend the 3900. I think they made minimal changes over the 3800. It's also at a better price today. The 3900 is on sale for $63.96. So if you're interested in getting one of those, I think that's a great deal. The Philips Norelco 3800 and probably the 3900, among my favorite men's electric razors in the under $100 price category. I just think it's a very smooth and comfortable shave. If you look at me, I can kind of use a shave today. I have some plans to shoot some shaver videos later today. Shaver Dude, choo choo. There you go. Yeah. So I have a separate YouTube channel, and with that, it's fairly new. It's got about 6 followers on it. But yeah, youtube.com/@shaverdude. 5 o'clock shadow just in time. Yeah, it takes me about 2 or 3 days to get here. I've been using the Braun Series 7 the last week or so. I wanted to try out the beard stubble trimmer on the Braun Series 7 right here because it just trims out your beard stubble. And I was using that the last week or so, so I had a little bit of stubble all week. I liked it. I thought it was very easy and super simple. And the last shaver that we've got in here, someday I maybe just need to do an entire show just all about different shavers. And maybe I will, but not today. Shaver Dude. So it's at Shaver Dude. Like the shirt says. Shaver Dude. Joanna said, "What case and phone are you using?" I use the Google Pixel 6 is what I use. And I think I even use the Google Pixel 6, like the official case from Google for it. I think I bought them at the same time. And honestly, the case from Google has been very good because I've dropped my phone a couple of times and it hasn't injured my phone. I don't have any cracks on the screen or anything. Got a couple of air bubbles at the top on the glass screen cover, but other than that, the case has protected it quite well. You had that cover up. Yes. All right. And the last razor I wanted to highlight was the Philips Norelco, because Philips Norelco's got a bunch on sale today. And this week, the 9800, one of their high-end shavers. A couple of nice features on here that a lot of other shavers don't have. It has lights on it. So you turn it on, it lights up. Blue, if you start applying some pressure on your face, it turns green, telling you you're applying the right amount of pressure. If you push too hard, it turns red, telling you you're applying too much pressure. So that's the only shaver I know of that does that. It also has an app that connects, and it will tell you things like if you're shaving too long, if you're not using enough circular motions. But that's a pretty high-end one from Philips Norelco. It's got 150,000 cutting actions per minute. So it does give you a pretty close, comfortable shave. Sometime I need to do a shaver battle between this one and some of my other more high-end shavers. Maybe my Braun Series 9 Pro, maybe my Braun Series 8, maybe my Panasonic. Yeah. So that is the Philips Norelco. It is on sale today as well. And Joanna, maybe I will even do you a favor here and put out a full link to Shaver Dude so that if you wanted to go follow, you could. Yeah. So there's a full link out to Shaver Dude, and maybe you already did. Go follow me. I do see I now have 10 subscribers over on Shaver Dude. I don't know if I'm ever going to go live on that channel or not. I don't know. I will, dude. I chose dude in the title because I thought it was easier. I thought it sounded better than Shaver Guy. I don't know. It seemed easy, and I didn't want to spend a whole ton of time trying to come up with a catchy, fancy name, and I thought Shaver Dude sounded good enough. So, yes. Anyhow, I think I'm going to call that a show for today. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. And again, it is headset week. So on Wednesday, I will be talking about different headsets. Again, probably the same three. I don't know if I'll have any other different headsets on the show, but that is what I'm going to be talking about. No, you're number 10. Well, thank you, Joanna. So, anyhow, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day. And as always, stop by the show, ask me any questions you've got about remote work stuff or men's electric shavers, and I will do my best to help answer those questions. Anyhow, have a great day, folks. Thanks for stopping by, Joanna. Everybody else, I'll be live again shortly before 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning as well. Thanks, everybody. I'm out. Goodbye. Ending the stream over on Amazon. Now, wrap it up. Yeah, now I'm going to end the stream over on everywhere else. All right. So, goodbye, folks. Have a good day.